All right, my beautiful friends, we are together again at last. Has anyone told you that you're special today? Well, you are. That's the truth. All right, look, let's talk. It is Sunday, April 28, 2019. I'm still tired. I had a busy weekend, great weekend, but I am tired. All right, enough of that. Let's talk about this market, where it's going, and let's put a perspective on some of the information that's been fed to us. Fed, you notice the term, okay. Let's back up to last week. We got this GDP number of 3.2, and, well, it's nothing short of miraculous. Actually, it's nothing short of impossible. And I want to put a perspective on that. Look, we all understand. Let's talk about controlled environments. Let's talk about China real quick. China, the numbers they feed us or that they are put out, well, they're all fake. And everyone knows they're fake. It's a controlled market environment. We have the same thing here in the United States. And the information is unbelievable because it's completely contradictory. And this is how we understand and we know that our market is also 100% fake and managed and controlled, just like China. All right. If you follow this blog, or if you at all follow the events of the market, the U.S. economy, the world economy, you are well aware that we have been seeing industrial production here in the United States literally slide lower and lower and lower and lower. Just keeps dropping. Okay. That's a fact according to the government's own numbers. Number two, the world is slowing down. It's no secret. They are trying to hide it, but we all know what's going on here. The world economy is slowing down. The world markets, equity markets, are completely disconnected from what's going on the ground. The trade gap here in the United States continues to get worse. In fact, it's historic. Despite tariffs and everything else they're trying to do to fix the situation, it's not getting fixed, it's getting worse. We are importing less goods than we have, again, for months and months and months. It's slowing. We are exporting less and less goods. It is sliding down. Meanwhile, I'm setting this up here for you so you can understand. Meanwhile, we get this GDP number of 3.2. Again, came out of left field. We've been hearing for, I don't know how long, 2%, maybe 2% growth, 2.2% growth, then we get this 3.2. Well, apparently, we are stockpiling inventories right now. All kinds of goods are being stockpiled, but where are they coming from? Do you hear what I just said? I mean, this isn't just Greg talking about it. This is being broadcast everywhere now. It doesn't make sense. Industrial production's dropping. World economy slowing. Imports dropping, and we're stockpiling goods. How does that work? You understand? This is the government's own numbers. The stuff they're feeding you. So we know that the number is fake. We know we have a controlled environment. In every way you can imagine that it's controlled. So understand, the United States, sadly, has become a managed market economy, and the only thing that keeps it going is the relentless acquisition of debt and propaganda. Propaganda. So we understand that the president himself and a lot of the guys here at the top are all screaming from rooftops about this miraculous number. It's impossible. It's not real. So there's the lie from last week. Now, let's talk about another lie from last week that I really want you to think about what I'm going to tell you, because it's staggering. Larry Kudlow came out last week explaining how inflation is dropping. And in the same breath, this was on live TV, CNBC, in the same breath as he said inflation was dropping, he's calling for a rate cut. Let that sink in for a moment. Larry Kudlow is saying inflation is dropping. In other words, your dollar is getting more purchasing power. This is obviously not true. At the same time, he's calling for a rate cut. You can't make this stuff up. If you were writing a science fiction novel or anything like it. Why he was not laughed off camera, I don't know. Again, they're playing the game. The media is controlled. You all know that. The information that's fed to you, it's fed to you for a reason, okay? You're supposed to look here, not look here. And even when something comes out of someone's mouth like that, most people don't get it because they've been dumbed down. They're unable to put it together. They don't think, wait a minute, what did he just say? And then with regard to the GDP numbers, they are counting on you, not checking the government's own numbers. They're like, no one's going to bother. They're going to believe it because they're so stupid. You understand? That's how they control the masses. Many ways to do it. Divide and conquer. And this is the job of the media, the controlled media, to keep people divided, to keep these people hating these people, pointing fingers. It's all controlled. And that's all part of it. Again, this is like China. We have become that, a managed market, a managed economy. It's very sad, but it's a fact. They're also hanging the China trade carrot in front of our face. We're hearing again last week how great it's going. It's unbelievable how the market is continuing to buy it. But I'll tell you what's going on. The GDP number we just got, we know is fake. And for the most part, the market knows it's fake. Just the general populace doesn't know it's fake. So what the message is pretty simple. You got a guy like Kudlow explaining how inflation is dropping. I mean, you want to talk about a lie? Well, there you go. We got our president talking about the GDP number, 3.2. He knows the number's fake, but he has to lie to you. And it's not just him. Anyone who was sitting in that White House would be doing the same thing. Anybody. And that's what they're going to continue to do moving forward. Whoever gets in there next time, and again, I believe that President Trump will win the next election only because, and I've explained this to you, where are the corporations going to put their cash to work? Behind a new guy or behind someone that has made them richer, faster than ever in history? Under no president before, ever in history, has corporate America gotten richer faster than under this guy. So where are they going to put their money to work? It's not about what you want or what I want. And I'm not saying I don't want him to be there. I am just telling you that we don't matter. You understand? Look, let me put another perspective on this for you. You do realize that your future has already been decided for you, right? In many ways, you and I are living in the past. What do I mean by that? Everything that comes out of the mouths of not just the politicians here in the United States, but around the world, has already been discussed and talked about months and months ago. Then the information is dispersed at the right time. So they're way ahead of you and I. We honestly are living in the past. They have dictated your future for you. And our future is more debt like you cannot believe. Again, our president is calling for a rate cut here in the United States. We understand what's going on in Europe as well. Again, this is not a United States phenomenon. It's around the world. They're all the world leaders and their respective banks are doing the same exact things at the same exact times. You think that's a coincidence? I know you are not that stupid. So understand where you are. You're literally living in the past that's been decided for you. All right. So what we know is going to happen here very simply is this. We are going to hear more lies, more diversions, more distractions, Look here, don't look here. In case you don't know, here in the United States, we still have an inverted yield curve, but you're not supposed to know that. The last I looked, the 1 month is paying more than the 7 year. Think about what I just told you. The 1 month debt unit, government debt unit, because that's what it is paying more than the 7 year. That's a pretty badly inverted curve. You're not supposed to know that, though. What you're supposed to know and focus on is the stock market going higher. All right? If you were to turn on any of the financial channels, you're going to see 95% of the show, maybe 97% of the entire show dedicated to looking at the stock market going higher. And a fraction of it, maybe 3%, maybe, dedicated to looking at the bond market. The bond market runs the show. The stock market, the equity market derives value from what's occurring in the bond market, but you're not supposed to know that either. Understand? I really hope that my little show here puts a light onto things for you so you can have a better perspective on what's happening to you directly. It's not going to change. No matter if the president wins again, I believe he will, I told you why, or if he doesn't, it doesn't matter. You don't matter. Your future has been decided already for you and for your children. This is the way it is. It's a much bigger, ugly, disgusting, hideous plan, okay, that's going on. And every single world leader is playing into it. Every single one. It's the truth. With all of this said, let's talk about next week, starting tomorrow. We understand the lies will continue. We understand the distractions are going to continue. We understand the carrot of China trade going so well is going to be hung in front of this market. We understand that more calls for rate cuts are going to come, despite inflation dropping, according to Larry Kudlow. I'll tell you, cocaine is one hell of a drug, but it's not cocaine that's driving this man. You understand? There is an invisible force guiding the entire world. It's not hidden. It's literally invisible. Okay? I think some of you are probably aware of that, at least those of you that try to seek truth. So, with that said, I hate to sit here and sound like a perma bull once again, because I've been getting a lot of this lately. Over the past, weeks upon weeks, I've been explaining to you how bullish I have been. I've been a bull since President Trump won the election. You all know that. I said stocks were going to vault higher under this guy. I knew they would. I think, again, one of the first guys to come out and say it. Right after the election on Greg Hunter's show, I said stock, in my exact words, will vault higher. Vault higher. Did I get that one right? I mean, my God. Yeah. And that's exactly what's going to continue here. We're going to be told the lie that our economy is booming and getting stronger. As a matter of fact, this morning, I know this is getting long, but pay attention. Sunday Morning Futures with Maria Bartiromo, the president was explaining that we're getting an influx of migrants because our economy is so strong. Our economy is not strong. Look at the money velocity, people. It's near historic lows. You do not need to have one functioning brain cell, not even one, to understand that without cash moving through the economy, changing hands at a rapid pace, you cannot have an economic recovery and or boom. We are near historic lows. So there's another lie to you, and our president knows it's a lie, but he has to maintain the narrative. And it's not just him. It will be whoever is placed in that pretty White House. Understand? You don't matter. That's the way it's going to go moving forward here, people. The environment of lies is going to get a lot worse. The distractions, the debt suppression, the off the Richter scale, unstoppable acquisition of debt on a grand scale will not stop. That's the only thing supporting not just the illusion that the United States economy is doing well, but the world. But the world, people. There's something else going on here. Again, it's invisible. It's invisible. But it is a thing. It is real and it exists. And most of you have no idea. Well, you're going to say, oh no, it's their fault. Oh, they're doing it. No. Without doing some serious, hardcore research and work, you have no idea. Anyway, with that said, this guy loves you, and I mean it from the heart. Pay attention to these things, people, and it's going to be another bullish. It's going to be another bullish week from my view. Unless something changes, something gets in the way of this market, the faking, the rigging, the nonsensical numbers that are thrown at us contrary to what the government information is actually being put out, the feeding of the masses, the programming of the masses, that's what it is, will continue. And they should tell you something. With that said, see you tomorrow.